Hey everybody, it's Austin Ward back with another Lettermen Row BuckIQ. We've got Zach Boren in here, so you know that it's another defensive breakdown coming
back,
at you.
man.
It's back. We missed you last week. We crammed them all in during the off day, but now we've got some new film to break down. Kind of a mixed bag, Zach, defensively. You know, the scoreboard doesn't look great. You don't want to see 31 points up there, but I thought that there actually were some signs of progress, so I don't know how you interpreted what you saw on Saturday.
You use the word mixed bag, and that's perfect, right? It's kind of what we've been seeing all year. There's some glimpses of, man, this is what the defense should really look like, and there's also some things where, like, what are they doing? You know, it's kind of the things we've touched on all year. But what we're going to touch on is when Brendon White came in, he added a whole new dimension to the defense, and just the way he played, it almost brought the silver bullet defense back, especially what he was doing, 20 yards back, being, rotating to become free safety, and then coming downhill and making plays behind the line of scrimmage.
I'm sure we'll get into this more, Zach, but it's not like moving a fullback over to middle linebacker in the middle of the season, right? I mean, I struggle to understand, like, he's been there all along. Like, you know how it goes. Sometimes it takes a second for the light to come on, but, like, why haven't we seen Brendon White at all before this point? I know that's hard to answer. We don't get to see every second of practice, but man, it felt like he needed to be out there.
Do you know what? Sometimes they call them gamers. Guys that are in practice, not the flashiest kind of guys. They're the guys that they aren't the highly touted 5-star, 4-star guys where in practice it looks like they're specimens, right? People are saying, who's that kid? Who's that kid when they walk in as freshmen? Like a Chase Young, right? Everyone's like, he looks like a #1 overall draft pick when he walked in as a freshman. Some of those guys, it takes for them to feel some power of saying, hey, I have a meaningful role. When Jordan Fuller went out and Brendon White's going in, he's like, hey, I have to step up. He's in the horseshoe on a Saturday, meaningful game. Ball players come to play, man. Big players make big plays in big games, and that's what he did.
I'm afraid to even ask you about the targeting call. We should probably just skip that one.
Just skip it, man. They're ruining college football. I mean, ruining college football. These are kids who have careers after this. These are kids that, it's not like the NFL where you can just find someone. Yeah, they've got the targeting rule where they throw someone out, but it's happened like once this year, right? College football, they're throwing student athletes out of games each and every week. I mean, I would love to see a stat on how many they're throwing out, but these are kids that are trying to make it on Sundays. These are kids that are going 110 miles per hour at all times, trying to make plays. They're not going after targeting these guys. It's not a money thing to them. It's not a name on the back kind of thing. It's a name on the front. They're playing for Ohio State. They're trying to make plays, and it's just the heat of the battle.
The silver lining there for Ohio State, it got Brendon White on the field much more. He made 13 tackles to lead Ohio State. So Zach is going to regroup a little bit and then get fired back up to break down some safety play. So let's roll the tape.
Comes full circle. Spotted him a little bit short, so 2nd and 1. Martinez sheds a couple of tacklers. Now going in the wrong direction and pulled down.
All right, Zach, so here's an example of sort of that extra effort, that intensity that Brendon White brought. He's nowhere near the play at first, but this gets extended by Adrian Martinez, and then here you come flying up, make a big tackle for loss.
Yeah, we've talked about all year what's been missing from the Ohio State defense is the pursuit, right? All 11 silver bullets flying to the football at all times. You'll see Brendon White all the way back here take off and close on Martinez. He's 20 yards back and makes the tackle for loss. You'll really see him here. He's rotating with the motion, which is perfect. Freeze coming down. He's rotating backwards, but you see him all the way back here. Closing speed, coming downhill quick, everyone flying to the football, and he set the tone with that. If you run that back one more time, you'll see how far he goes. He's rotating over, gets all the way back to the 10-yard line, sprinting all the way down, and gets Martinez at a tackle for loss at the 30. So comes 20 yards on a rotation, sprints all the way downfield, and makes a tackle for loss at a big time in the game.
Now this is a situation, we've heard this a lot from Greg Schiano and others, Zach. There are a couple missed tackles here. Adrian Martinez makes guys miss. I think Pete Warner gets shrugged off, but then you might take an issue with that, but then at least you see something that you've talked about. You have 6 guys here flying to the football. Nobody's walking to the end of this play.
Listen, there's going to be missed tackles. The problem is like what we saw in the Purdue game. There's a missed tackle and no one's there. The guy's gone. If there are missed tackles, you've got to have other guys, defenders, flying to the football at all times. That's what you see here. Like, there's no problem. Yeah, guys are playing hard. Martinez was an elusive runner, good player. But if you have got 10 other guys flying to the football, 9 other guys flying to the football, Martinez is going to have nowhere to go. And that's where you see Brendon White coming from all the way in midfield. If Brendon White's not there, Martinez may have a first down, right? He's got a one-on-one out here. He makes him miss. Brent, that's a first down all day. And what we've seen over the past couple weeks is normally that is a first down. But what Brendon White brought to the team, the way he was able to close, the way he was able to come down, really full speed. He is sprinting full speed downhill. He makes his play.
Has gone from the third stringer at the start of the year to the featured back. He's got it again, but has nowhere to go.
I think we're about to see another example of that here, Zach, with Brendon White reading, diagnosing, and then just firing. No hesitation here.
Yep, this is a big thing. We've seen this with the linebackers, right? The linebackers haven't been filling holes, haven't been coming up. This is from a safety, right? This is the way a linebacker should play. When he sees run, he comes up, fills, gets a burst, and goes. It's a tackle for loss. How many times have we seen throughout this year guys just kind of stopping, right? Kind of sitting there, not coming up and filling holes, not knowing which way to go. If you come, he's all the way from back here, if you come and force the ball carrier, get up on him, close on him, he's not going to have anywhere to go. You know, running backs want space. When you sit back and wait for them to make a move, you're playing into what they want to do. And when you can come up and force the issue, Brendon White sees it, closes on it at full speed, and makes the play.
Is there anything that you've noticed, Zach, that suggests that Ohio State made any adjustments with this, bringing up the safety, or did this look about the same as what they've done previously, just execute a little better?
Yeah, do you know what? I think they just execute a little bit better. And I'm not even saying from a linebacker standpoint, because even from a linebacker standpoint, there's no reason why Malik Harrison should be filling right on here. He's getting downhill play. Do not fit right. He should have fit straight ahead. But the safety play helps it, right? You see him going right. Malik Harrison should have actually fit left right here, been tough with the offensive guard, come up, hit him with his hands and be able to play off him. Instead, he runs out. If Brendon White is not here and this is a missed tackle, look, there is no one here. And we've seen that. How many times has Ohio State gotten burned on something that's coming inside, guys taking the wrong angles, and then the running back coming out? You saw it TCU multiple times. You saw it Oregon State week 1. This happens all the time. If that is a missed tackle right there and Brendon White does not show up, that may be a touchdown.
Yeah.
It's first down and 5. Martinez throws it underneath, and a nice open field tackle.
This was maybe the highlight of the game defensively. I know there were a lot of other ones, but for somebody who was coming out of relatively nowhere, to see what Brendon White does here against a play that is sometimes given Ohio State struggles, this had to be a real positive.
Yep, this was something where you saw a defender be able to react, right? That's one thing Ohio State hasn't done well either, is react to what they're seeing. It's reaction and then running to the football as hard as you can, playing with passion. You see it both here with Brendon White. He sees the play diagnosed right here, knows it's coming, and takes off, gets a burst, and when the guy catches the ball, it's a tackle right at the line of scrimmage. This could not be played better. We've seen Ohio State get beat on this. This is a hard play to stop, right? Especially with a quarterback like Martinez. You don't know, if he can run it from a linebacker standpoint really hard.
Yeah.
But for a safety to see this 10 yards downfield, playing back 10 yards, be able to see it, come back, and make the play at the line of scrimmage, that's what this defense needs. That's running the football. It's playing with passion. I mean, you can't ask for anything more from a free safety in this standpoint.
And this isn't necessarily meant to be a comparison to the other guys that have played in that spot this year. Isaiah Pryor, Jocelyn Went, Sean Wade. But this just seemed like Brendon White made up his mind. You could almost see it right here at the 10 or 11. He's like, okay, I've got this, and I'm going to go make the play.
Yeah, I mean, this is a read and react. Look at even the linebackers here. Malik Harrison's playing back. Look, and Brendon White's coming downhill saying, I know what's coming, right? You've got one guy dropping back, one guy reading and reacting and coming forward. That's what you need as a defense. Defense isn't so much, hey, I can run this, I can run this fast, I can do this, I'm this big. It's read and reaction. It's play with attitude. It's when I get to the football, I'm going to make this guy know that I'm coming full speed and I'm going to, put my helmet right in his chest and make the play. That's what Brendon White does. It's read, react, run as hard as you can, play with passion. He gets there and has a purpose, right? It's playing with a purpose. If he doesn't come up and make this play and sits back, granted, not to pick on Malik Harrison one bit, great player, but if Brendon White's sitting back, this play may be for a touchdown, right? You've got 3 blockers out for 3 guys.
Right.
Everyone else is back here. That may be a touchdown, right? Then it may be a different story here when we're sitting here talking on a Monday. But for a free safety, you talk about the great ones, right? Like Ed Reed. You even talk about a guy like Ryan Shazier, for example. Yes, he had the sideline speed and had the different attributes which made him a great football player. But this is a read and react type thing that the great ones have and the great ones are able to see.
And he did it in just one day. He let Nebraska know that Brendon White was there to play. I think he's got to tell the Ohio State coaching staff the same thing, that this is a guy that's probably got to be out there, Zach.
He does. This couldn't have come at a better time. When the Ohio State defense, got embarrassed by Purdue, let's be honest, got embarrassed by Purdue, for him to show up the way he did, especially when Jordan Fuller, who everyone talks about is the heart and soul of that defense, for him to go out for, let's be honest, a very questionable targeting call. Brendon White came in and stood up and became a leader on that defense really quickly. And this is a very promising thing for the Ohio State coaches and Ohio State fan base to see.
Yeah. Have to assume that he's going to be out there playing a lot on Saturday against Michigan State. Ohio State, when you go on the road, you got to take that Big Ten defense if you're going to get a win. So Zach will be obviously back with us, breaking it down here at Lettermen Row, getting his defensive takes all season long. So looking forward to that next week. We'll see what the outcome is on Saturday at noon in East Lansing. So for Zach Boren, I'm Austin Ward. We'll see you next time at BuckIQ.